Yesterday, Call of Duty Warzone released one of the most overpowered, unbalanced guns ever in the game, the Sykov Akimbo pistols. Today, however, we got some good news. Late last night, Raven Software, who are actively developing Call of Duty Warzone, actually replied to a tweet with some encouraging information and upcoming changes to the game. And there's some really good stuff in here, and maybe, just maybe, we can finally say goodbye to the Roze skin. So this started when Courage, who is a content creator from the US, made a big list of his problems with Call of Duty Warzone. And Raven actually replied to him and said, "Thank you for sharing this list. We want to reassure you and the rest of the community that we're constantly on the lookout for ways to improve the game. Stand by for specifics." And then they went on. And there are a lot of changes coming soon that we think you'll be happy to see. Number one, an adjustment to Roze. Oh my god. Finally, they've acknowledged that that skin is a problem. They didn't go into any detail about what that adjustment is, but at least they've acknowledged that it's an issue with the game. The visibility is awful with that skin. And we'll talk about that a bit more in just a second when we take a look at the rest of this stuff. So next, a significant balance pass to weapons such as the TAC Rifle Charlie, that's the Cold War AUG, the M16, the FFAR, and Sykov. So on the same day, they have actually said, okay, we see that it is kind of OP, we're going to be changing it. And then there's a fix for Modern Warfare weapon perks and Sniper Glint. If you guys weren't aware, since the last big patch, Modern Warfare weapon perks just didn't work on some of the guns in the game. So people's loadouts were screwed. And some of the scopes don't have Sniper Glint on anymore on certain Modern Warfare weapons and zooms. Obviously, massive problem. And if you've been sniped by someone that you couldn't see the glint on, now you know why. And then they said a change to how you acquire the RCXD. And what that means is, again, after the last big patch, they put the RCXD in the buy menu, but they put it at the bottom for some reason. And the bottom is typically where the loadout drop marker is. And a lot of people have just been accidentally buying the RCXD instead of the loadout because that's just their muscle memory. They spend the money on the RCXD, they waste their cash, and then they can't buy a loadout. So I think what they're going to do there, I would hope, is change that RCXD, put it up into where the other kill streaks are, kind of at the top. But that's not all. They added another reply to that tweet and said, "We've got a lot more in store, including some big surprises next week. But if you want to keep chatting about anything specific, slide into our DMs." So a lot more stuff in store, bug fixes I'd hope, balance passes, and big surprises next week. Well, we know one big surprise is the new map. Obviously, that's the start of Season 3. It's going to go down. But other big surprises, well, what could that be? I don't think that's just referring to the map. Could it be a bunch of new guns? Could it be that they're going to vault a load of weapons? What do you guys think they could be referring to there? Let me know down in the comments below. So all in all, I'm glad that this has happened. I'm really happy that Raven have acknowledged some of these issues because it seems like the community was just being ignored and ignored. And these have been problems for months and months and months. At least there's a little bit of communication here that they're working on things. I don't know why they just released this information in a reply to someone though. That kind of information there, if you're someone who plays Warzone regularly, that's music to your ears. Why not tweet that out from the main account as a tweet, or make a Reddit post, make a blog post or something so everyone can see it rather than just replying to someone? Because a lot of people just won't see this, and maybe if you're watching this video now, you hadn't seen it earlier. A lot of people just don't use Twitter. So as I've always said with the communication, I think Raven need to be more upfront, front facing with it and just get it out there, talk to the community and let us know what's going on. But the adjustment to the Roze skin, I don't know what they're going to do here. I imagine that they will change the hue of it or add some additional geometry to the model. It's one of the biggest problems with the Roze skin. Obviously, it's really dark. It's black and grey, difficult to see in dark areas, especially when you're going from a light environment to a dark environment and your in-game eyes take a second to adjust. You don't see that skin in dark corners. So that's the obvious issue with it. But the other problem is the silhouette of this skin. And that's what I mean by adding more geometry. If you look at the Roze skin, it's one of the most slender skins in the game. It's almost like she's wearing this skin tight spandex suit, right? There's not much tactical gear here at all. She's not wearing anything on the head. It's a very slim, slender model. So sometimes it feels like it's a bit harder to track, harder to see. So I do think that they could add some geometry to it, or maybe add a slightly shiny surface to it. Maybe they'll just put a high-vis jacket on her. But there are lots of other skins that are really dark too and do have some problems, like the Balkan skin, for example. This one isn't as bad though, in my opinion, because it's got a helmet on. It's got goggles, so the head is a bit bulkier, the shoulders are a bit thicker. Sometimes how the lighting works, you can kind of see a shine on the helmet as well, so this one isn't as bad. But there are other dark skins too, like Nikto, for example, black, grey, black and green. So looking at just the Roze skin, that'll be great for that example, but there are other skins in the game too that blend in a bit too well. So I hope that they do a pass on all of the skins in the game and add a bit of contrast to them, just to make them stand out a little bit more. But I had to think about this, and let's say, for example, the new map is out next week, and that's the only map that you can play. You can't play normal Verdansk anymore. You've got a new map. What if that map is a lot brighter than Verdansk, and skins like Roze will just stand out more anyway because it's in a sunnier environment, or the color palette's different, it's a bit brighter. And that could be something to think about, and maybe a reason that they haven't adjusted Roze yet. Balance pass to the AUG, M16 FFAR, and Sykov, brilliant. All of those guns just dominate. It's all I see at the moment when I play. Sometimes you see an AMAX in there, or maybe a MAC 10. So I'm glad that they're taking a look at the overall balance of the game. So this is good. This is real good. I'm super happy that they've done this, but I remain cautiously optimistic. And I hope that a lot of these changes actually do come out next week with the patch when they release the new map. And we're not waiting and waiting with all these unbalanced things on the new map while we're just trying to enjoy it and explore, see the sights, have those fun times right at the start whenever something new's out. So fingers crossed these changes will make it into the patch next week. There was another bit of news today regarding Warzone. In a few territories, if you were signed up to NVIDIA's newsletter, some people got sent an email and the subject line said that Warzone DLSS will be launching for 22. So if we're correct, on the 22nd the new map will launch, and we'll also be getting DLSS support for NVIDIA graphics cards. DLSS is a really cool technology that basically boosts the performance of your game by rendering it at a smaller resolution and then using AI to add some detail back in. Sometimes it can look better than the native resolution as well. And I know that this is a much requested feature for PC gamers because it just means that you're going to get more FPS. In Cold War, that already has DLSS. In certain scenarios and on certain rigs, you can get almost double performance if you're using the performance setting of DLSS. So a lot of people, myself included, are looking forward to enabling this and just getting more frame rate. And that's about it for today, guys. As I said, I really hope that these changes and surprises all get put into the game next week with the new map, and just the quality of life of the game improves. Well, there we go. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. So long, Roze skin, though. Really happy about that one. As always, a big thanks to everyone using my supporter creator code in the COD store. JackFrags in caps. If you buy anything, use my code, tweet me a pic, and I'll put you in a video like this one. I hope you have a great weekend. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.